Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Vampyr, where I suppose our next step is to continue with the blackmail side quest and just reach Whitechapel and see how it be. Also, I think these are just accidents. Yeah, like I just like add marker. So go there and let's hope we'll survive. Is the gist of it really. Ah, no, not here though. Let's go check our office right quick to see if the stash works the way I thought it would. Yep, it sure seems to. Cool, good to know. Yay! Yeah, that's the way to go. Let's do some aggravation healing while we're here. That's better. I couldn't do it before, it's a little, area specific. Gonna grab me a cup of coffee, should have used the break, that would have been logical, but that's not me. I see. I see. 11? Yeah, I can do 11. That should be fine. Hi.
It's one of them.
I know. You with the potty mouths, man.
Get a taste of this.
Oh, really? That's news to me, but that's a thing. Okay, so these big boys I'm still very much unsure what to do with. Like, they don't really stagger from strikes. Almost ever. Which I find puzzling at times. Like, they just hit you back if you don't do like a quick in and out. It's very strange. Like, there's the stagger sometimes, but it's really rare. And it's really risky to keep on hitting this. It almost never works. Boom. Common trigger part. Grease. And aluminium powder. I see. And glass vials too. So let's just dig some trash. Grease and screw from a trash can. That's my favorite. Om nom. Yep, this is the way to go. How do they sense that I'm a vampire, though, is my next question. Hi! That's one. That's two. Give me some blood. you go. Boom. Do.
We're locked out. It's one of them! Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Oh. Hi. A little like over aggressive there, but it worked out, so cool. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a different thing that might be unhealthy if I just like randomly go in that direction. Oh, good. The boss fight with one of these was crazy. I hope it doesn't take that long. Looks promising though. Cool, good. I had a boss fight with a thing like this, and it took like 7 minutes or whatever. It's just crazy. Boom. There we go. The corpse had some stuff I can use. That's good. This is a good thing. Excellent. I see.
Not a good place for a stroll. Didn't you hear me?
Awesome place for a stroll, it's fine.
A leech! A leech!
Oh, come on.
It's dead! Die, vermin!
Roger the wall, apparently, is what that is. Oh, come on. There's a question. That's that. There's another one. Focusing nice and smooth. Nice and simple. Nom 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 nom. Figured I'd defrost some bread as well to get some of that food thing going as well. That sounds like a plan, yes. That tends to be a good step. So that's the direction to go, but I should probably pick up this before I forget. And there might be like trash cans or something I want to do. Okay, good. Here we go. We're finally having progress.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Trash can. Yay, grease and screws. Awesome. Large box of pills. There we go. Do you talk? Are you dead? Oh, he's partly dead, okay.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
Oh.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
Sick and suffering.
Hi.
What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Okie dokie.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Interesting.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Okay.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Used to have a better life?
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
I think well, Benjamin Palmer, you know. That's the name.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
I see.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Right. Hi.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it.
Yep, gotta
Now
warm up
bugger
abilities
off.
and moving to PC. BRB. Okay, okie dokie.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
That's one, so this one.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
I see.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I've a future here.
Okie dokie.
Goodbye, young man.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering
I
the
should have
streets.
rolled the dice,
Not
I just
me.
realized. Where did the other guy go? Hi
Good
again.
evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
I don't have treatment for migraine. I'm sorry.
What is it, Benjamin?
Swear
It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket and locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
And do. 2.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Okay.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make it.
Right. I wonder if the other man or the boy reacts to me having a hint or what.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
No. No.
Goodbye, young.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Okie dokie. I have a feeling this lady might have something to do with the
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
Hi.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir.
Hi.
Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this?
How
unknown
is your
and deadly
hairdo so good in this
Actually-
rain?
I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Okie dokie.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I see.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The
Jack
region
the Ripper?
itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Sure, the Ripper murders happened like a couple of decades ago, basically, but still. Almost a couple of, in that ballpark. Couple of decades, basically. From this.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
I see.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye, Miss
Oh.
Swan.
Quick check again. What is she
I'd like
selling?
to see what
Because
kind of medicine
if she sells formula, I'm interested. If not, nothing. Swanborough cordial with a list of ingredients printed in Latin. This I'm going to recycle native component. Right. So it's not. Yeah. Okay. I see.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems, as long as you have the money.
Right. So.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
So there's supposed to be a hideout like in here, huh? I think that's the one. But I'm worried that if I go inside, the game will respawn the enemies I've killed in the streets. Playing cards just left out in the open. Can we grab them? I would love the whole lot. A deck of playing cards can improve stuff a lot.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina is still working nearby.
Oh, hello, Cardigan Bates.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say, a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Right.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Should you?
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Ugh. Right. Why do you seem so happy?
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
I mean, you do have a cold, though. What help could I be to your business?
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, You are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swanborough shit.
So what is your business?
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
Six. That works.
You obviously place yourself above the misery of Whitechapel, but you are as repellent an individual as I have ever met.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Despicable is still despicable, man.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
I see.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
Do 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 do. Number 2.
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
I've played dirty plenty against quite a few undead monsters, man. Wait, I've already asked that though.
I'm looking...
Dorothy Crane.
Why are you so thankful?
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Okay, that's it then.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
See, I have cold medicine, but I think it improves the, like... I think it improves the...
Mr. Bates.
Evening.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Because keeping them healthy improves the district quality, and I don't know. Like, he's a despicable character, but I kind of want, like, when I see a disease, I want to try to do something about it, see if it's good to do. I don't know.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Yeah, recovering, right. So what about this one?
What?
What do you want?
Hi.
Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Okay. How? Because that door is super closed. And he has bronchitis. Do I have that stuff?
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina...
Will this work?
It's locked, all right.
How do you expect me to investigate his actions if I can't reach the place? Interesting. Very interesting.
This district seems to get
At
uglier
PC
every
finally. Congratulations! I am being confused here. Very much so.
I will return later.
Okay, this is weird. If only I could teleport somehow, or like move. Like, this is such an odd thing that I'm like halfway thinking that the game is just glitched out. How odd. Don't see a teleportation prompt anywhere, so I have to assume I just... you know when a game is janky enough that when you can't immediately reach a quest marker, you immediately give up thinking that the game is broken? That's basically where I'm at.
A lot of people are talking about this.
Because if I understood the layout correctly, this doesn't lead into there. Yeah. Investigate Darius projections. I can't! There's a gate that's not a door. Game is over. End credits. Roll. Like, how do you expect me to do this? It's not a door. And the game doesn't let me do the eavesdrop from here, so what? Damn it. Come on.
Who distribute flowers at this hour of night?
Like, I'm looking for like teleportation spots, but I don't see anything.
It's locked.
Couldn't you like just push your hands from the sides and lock it from like from a clever angle? I'm so stumped. Like there's no options to deal with here. It is like, oh, can't get in. Bye. Like again, imagine in Super Mario Brothers, you like see a super long pipe. Can't jump over it.
Cordial can be the
There's no way to jump over it, and then the game is like, well, and you're like, well, and that's it. That's what this is now. Cool, excellent, good. Damn it. Game, help! What do you want from me? Why you like this? Game, why? That's a bug. Are you sure? Awesome. Good game, guys. Really just like goes places. Went and checked forums. Cool. Oh, goody. Thank you for that, though. I would have probably just ran around for another 3 minutes just saying, like, game sucks. And, well, it sucks because it doesn't work, but, like, you know. The moment sucks. Like... Ah... God damn. No, that is excellent backseating. That is information that was crucial for me, because you literally saved me time from being in a that backseating is like if I encounter a game-breaking glitch and you find out, I want to know. That's excellent backseating. So what's like how is it supposed to happen is the next question. Go to the gate and wiggle yourself while smashing interact button. Really? This one. Are we serious here? This bug is known for over a year and they just didn't fix it. Oh goody. Oh goody. Good game, guys. Yep, this is really going places, man. This I call the game sucks dance. Can you link the forum post so I can also check it out, like, in chat? Because I... Oh, cool. Eventually what worked for me was indeed standing in front of the gate, pressing the vampire vision and action button like a madman while targeting Francesco one thing also. Yeah, thanks. I'll check it as well. Really? Okay, so vampire vision and this thing. This is the Imgur link of how it's supposed to work. Oh, I see. I saw that. Give us a second. Okay. There we are.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I'm wondering about like 1918, like what sort of like sanitary, like cleanliness rules were, but like that nurse never ever washes her hands. They're always just blood in the hands forever. It's very distracting at points. I realize it's the 1918s, and you know it's not as clean as you know today, but that's I still find that somewhat odd. Progression, holy crap, yeah. G-Zims. Okay, a couple of unknowns. It's usually good to talk to people. Hi.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Okie dokie.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Two.
Yes, she's a nurse. And quite a good
Thank you, much appreciated.
What
Good,
did she
you know,
do
Walter.
to gain such
Seriously.
notoriety?
Dorothy Crane.
I would have wasted a lot of minutes just like looking at that, like what, and then googled it myself eventually. But you saved a lot of time here. Seriously.
That
Thanks.
doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Right. Life in London. Business.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Okay. Notice anything out of the ordinary?
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Okay. Trinkets and more. Cool.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Right. Okay, not quite. Okay, what do you sell?
Right then. Show me what you have.
Both chemicals and other crafting equipment, but no formulae. Okay. Common handle part would... Those would help me build the next upgrade for my stuff, but... I don't remember how much do I need. And if I might be able to find something else before I might just wait for a little bit on those. On that point. Okie dokie. So what about you? Hi.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Colossus Joe, I am half a head taller than you, so... And probably wider as well. So...
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
I see. What about do around?
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
I can hack your head off if you want to.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Do you enjoy bullying people?
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
Swear to me.
Pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
I see. Do 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 do. 5.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
I see. Okay, probably need to go talk to the other guy again. Hi, you who are 10 meters away, or like 3.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
I see. What's his story?
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
I see. And rolling the dice. 5 again.
Taking out your anger on others is nothing but cowardice. And Colossi are quite famous for tumbling down.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
Yes, I use a hacksaw. It's very different. No one has ever stood up.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the wet boot boy.
Right. Cool.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
So...
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
So he went that way, but I don't know if I got anything new out of him.
You again? What do you want this time?
Sorry to interrupt your pee break. Nothing, okay.
Goodbye, Mr.
I know it's hard to believe.
Goodbye
but this district
indeed.
has always been wretched.
So what about you? Hi.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Oh, about an underground medical dispensary. That's a very to the point immediately right then and there. Let's start simple. What are you doing here after sunset?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Okay, you risk your life to reveal the truth?
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Mm-hmm. Is the public interested?
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Okay. Not afraid of getting out at night.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Okie dokie. Six.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
They're ghouls or such and such. No newspapers speak about the epidemic.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Four.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes. This is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
I see. So, to the point.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Okie dokie. 3.
It's confidential. Speaking as a doctor, I'm sure you understand.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
No relatives.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Okie dokie. He never goes out.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Oh, okay. Well, we have gained info.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
What about this one?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Are we gonna have a conversation about this?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale?
You ass.
But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Talking to a 1918 priest is just like it's an entire world of just like the progressive views. Yes.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I believe in facts.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Right. And the other one too. Just
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I feel like there's a 2020 joke in there somewhere, but what's your plan?
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us.
Right.
But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Hacksaws.
Cleansing fire.
And how exactly is that a thing?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Here we go. Let's make a good number. Number is 6.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Right. You know things are bad when a vampire has the moral high ground. There is that, yeah. Although, like, you know, it's rare. Yes, let's put it that way.
What do you all quite
Are you?
well? What do you?
The beast.
I have heard enough. Goodbye. Good evening.
It's
Have you any family left?
Have you any friends? Any family left in
The
these?
die bugs and you get a 7. I would
No.
believe that at this point, yes.
But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Okie dokie, where did you send him?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
And when the dead rise and kill him.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
But the evil might be level 16 evil, and then he's gonna be pate. He's gonna be a Samuel casserole. You see, that's the problem. Don't worry, he's locked behind a bug door and it's mm-hmm.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
That I would super believe that to be the case actually at this point.
Soon the time will come when you'll all be judged for your sins.
What are you looking at, man? It's a 3 tins and a roll of copper wire, I think, or something along those lines. Do. Find the mailbox and the letter. That was the thing. Oh goody. Oh goody. What level? 10. Okay. Hi. Nom 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 nom. One, two, ow! Okay, so you made it personal, my dude. I can bite you back. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I have cleverly dodged your attack. Yes. Boom. Quarantine influenza. Keep out of this area by order of the Board of Health. Health officer. Okie dokie. Potassium permanganate. I'm just like opening doors and looking at stuff. Hi? Alive?
Some of us come to this world already touched by grace.
Hello?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please
Why are
be
you-
my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Oh, this is the right. I'll start with the simple stuff because this might lead to, but I don't know. What are you doing here?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Uh-huh. Not afraid of the epidemic.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Sure.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
To infinity and beyond. Then.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy.
Yeah.
But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
And let's roll a 7 with a d6. Here we go. 1.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
I see.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Who'll help you if you're in danger?
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
That is an astute observation, but
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
Again, a unique outlook on this thing. Why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you have examples?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles, and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Okay. What about, do you think it's a little morbid?
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
I see. Afraid to find out the truth, or you don't know her?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
And?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Don't know. So that's all? Yeah. So this here.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Okay, what about Darius?
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu. Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I see.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Find the inhabitants, find the mailbox and the letter, right. Oh. Sycophant Publishing Limited, Lavender Court, Camden Street, London. Dear Mr. Nethercott, thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you in the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to announce you that Sycophant Publishing chose to stow the second opinion. With kindest regards, A.G. Morris. I see. We are looking for a mailbox. Oh, hi. But you can't talk, huh?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Tell me about Nethercott. Or...
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
Okay.
Tell me
about swear to me.
I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye then.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'd imagine this is where, Darius Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war. But there is also a war going on here in England, a war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I am writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Flower bouquet. A small flower bouquet with a voucher for a free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from. Oh, it's the same thing I've seen before, yeah. Oh! Hi.
Hello again, miss.
That was a lucky find. I know you work for Nurse Crane.
Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Okay.
Very well. Goodbye then.
They seem restless to a very weird point, but cool. At this point, I've been streaming for 11 hours. I am beat. I'm gonna crash. Like, this is, you may have, yeah. I have to call it here, but if you have enjoyed this on YouTube, please do drop a like or a comment or subscribe. It would help a lot. Really would. It really would. If you feel like doing so, it would be much appreciated. And join me here live on Twitch. It is a good time if you squint. I hope. Maybe. Yes. But thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again next time.